Hey there everyone, I am Crunchy Scott and happy New Year's Eve. It is New Year's Eve 2018, almost going into 2019. I cannot even believe it. The year has absolutely flown by. I remember hearing someone say the other day, they said, as you get older, the years go by faster, but the days are slower. That's kind of true. I kind of feel like sometimes days don't ever end, but the year, this last year especially, has absolutely flown by for me. All good, of course. But I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to let you know what some of my favorite 80s female comebacks were. I'm going to focus on the pop princesses of the 80s that did new music in 2018. I was blown away by all of the 80s artists, or people that I consider artists from the 80s, who actually came out and did brand new music this year. Sometimes it means that they've been doing music the whole time, you know, some kind of never left the scene, but some have gone away for quite a while and decided to come back, and they're doing some really great stuff. So that was really exciting to me. So I'll do my top three. Number 3 pop princess comeback is Joan Jett. Yes, Joan Jett from the 80s. You know, I hate myself for loving you. So sorry about my bad singing, but so many other songs that she did from the 80s. And I have such great memories of Joan Jett too. Just a little sidetrack story. There was a pizza place in my hometown growing up. I was very young. My family and I would go there for dinner sometimes, and they had a jukebox in there, and that jukebox was always fully loaded with Joan Jett songs for some reason. And I totally remember like getting a quarter, and yes, I think it was like a quarter, maybe less, that you would go and you would play. And I would always play Joan Jett songs. My cousin, she would always play the Joan Jett songs. It was really great. So I have really great Joan Jett memories. Sorry, that was a sidetrack. Anyways, Joan Jett put out a song a couple months ago called Fresh Start. How appropriate is that? Now, the Fresh Start song was done for a film about Joan Jett. It was a documentary, actually, that she'd been filming for 5 years. I can't even believe that. So, full disclosure, I feel like I'm the worst 80s YouTuber out there. Do not quote me on that, because I had no idea about this song or this documentary until a couple of weeks ago, when I was at the gym and I was listening to another Joan Jett, an 80s Joan Jett song, of course, on YouTube. And that song, Fresh Start, popped up. And I was like, what the heck is this? And saw that it was a brand new song a couple months ago, and there was a movie around it and all that good stuff. So, of course, I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm definitely going to watch the movie in a couple of weeks. So maybe I'll do a little review of that. Joan Jett is an amazing person. She has had quite a life. 60 years old. That kind of blows my mind a little bit, because she is closer to my mother's age than she is my age. I'm 45. So it's a little weird to think like she and my mom could have been friends more than me and her probably would have been friends. But anyways, here's a quick listen to the song. I only play just a few quick seconds of songs. I'm so scared of getting like dinged for copyright issues on YouTube, because they have dinged me before for all sorts of stuff. So I only play like a quick few seconds of this so I don't get in trouble. But so in case you haven't heard it, so you can kind of get the vibe. Isn't that good? So that to me sounds like it could have literally been on one of her albums in the 80s. I do not mean that as a slam in any way, because I know some artists are like, no, I've grown and that kind of thing. Joan Jett had such a signature sound, in my opinion, that sound today, I think probably still sounds fresh to a lot of young people. So for me, I'm like, Joan, keep doing what you're doing, and I love you for it. So I really wonder what Joan Jett would think if I referred to her as a pop princess like I did in that in the first part of this video. So she wasn't really a pop princess, but you know where I'm going with all this. So number 2 on my list of pop princess comebacks for 2018 is really truly a pop princess, Kylie Minogue. And even though Kylie is 50 years old, we still kind of consider her a pop princess. She's never elevated to pop queen, but she's definitely a pop princess, even now that she's in her golden years. Yes, her album of 2018 was called Golden, and the song that I'm going to talk about is called Dancing. So let me take you back. When Dancing first came out, I remember listening to it and I was like, what? I honestly didn't like it, and I was super confused, and I think it was the country vibe that threw me off. Was very confused. Then I heard the remix version and I freaking loved it. Loved the remix to Dancing. I mean, that thing I just played on a loop for like weeks after that song came out. So I'm so inspired by that I was like, I should go back and listen to the original version again. And I did. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a terrific, terrific song. Someone else described it as Dolly Parton hits the dance floor. So it's like, how could you not love that? Oh, let me play just like a little piece of it here for you. Just a few seconds, you know the deal. Do you know how many times I've done this little dance routine in front of the mirror? You don't want to know, trust me. So anyways, it's a great album. If you haven't heard the whole album, or if you haven't heard this song, definitely look it up on YouTube. I'll post the links down below. Kylie Minogue, to me, I have such great memories of Kylie Minogue. I saw her back in the 80s on a video show called Night Tracks when she was doing the locomotion. And then another song, one of my favorite songs that I continue to listen to today, it's called If I Had to Do It All Again. She's just, every decade, Kylie Minogue has produced music that I love and that has been popular. So she has staying power, which means I am so excited to hear what Kylie Minogue is going to do in the future. Like, Kylie, when you drop a song, I will always be there, girl. Plus, I have seen her in concert and she puts on a hell of a show. So anyways, Kylie Minogue, Dancing, that is my number 2 pick for our 80s pop princess comebacks of 2018. So who is the number 1 pop princess comeback of 2018? Well, it's a bit of a wild card. Not really. It is Kim Wilde. Please tell me you remember her. She was We're the Kids in America. And even more famously, You Keep Me Hanging. I can't sing. This is so bad that I'm trying to sing these songs. You Keep Me Hanging On. I think wasn't that like a Diana Ross or a Supremes remake or something even in the 80s? I can't remember. But that was what Kim Wilde was really famous for here in America, those songs. So she put out a new song called, get this, Pop Don't Stop. I mean, jackpot, people. I mean, could that be a more perfect title? I mean, if there's any title of a song that would suck Crunchy Scott in, it's Pop Don't Stop. So I was so excited to hear this song. And then when I heard it, it is everything, you guys. It is not only, it has a solid 80s vibe, but it has a really awesome updated sound. And of course it's done by Kim Wilde. So it's just, the lyrics are really great. It's totally poppy. It's totally dancey. Oh, you should probably listen to a little bit of it. Okay. Ooh. Okay, that's a little bit more than I probably should have played, but I really wanted you to hear a little bit of it because it is definitely my favorite song of 2018, or my favorite 80s pop princess comeback 2018 song, and for so many reasons. One of the reasons is because her brother, who you just saw there, he played on the album. He played guitar and he did some vocals. And I really loved a story that she did in an interview, that she told in an interview, because she's really close with her brother, and they're really close because they're super close in age. And this is my term, Irish twins. They are Irish twins. And no offense to any Irish people. You shouldn't be offended anyways. I took my DNA kit. I'm Irish, so I can say this. But Irish twins, for those of you who don't know, it basically means your parents were very sexually active. So when one baby is born, and then it was just a matter of a couple of weeks when your mom got pregnant with the second baby, and all within a year, your mom had 2 babies. So that's the way her and her brother are. They're super close in age. And that's actually touched me because my little sister, I know she's my little sister, she's actually just 10 months younger than me. She is, we're Irish twins. So it just kind of touched me that, she talks about that. And of course I love my sister to death. She's the only sister in the family. So that just kind of touched me. It just kind of really personalizes Kim Wilde, and to know that they were able to collaborate on an album together and do amazing amazing things. I don't think my sister and I could ever do an album together. But I don't know. I'll call her and ask. So I don't know. It would maybe be like a little, I don't know, pop song or a little country song. I don't know. Anyways, so that was one of the reasons why I really loved it. But also the album is called, I think it's Here Come the Aliens. Oh, I can't remember. I think it's Here Come the Aliens. And Kim Wilde believes in aliens. And guess what? Full disclosure, so do I. As a vegan, I always say to people, I'm like, you know what? Like, if the aliens show up, they're going to look down on us and be like, oh my gosh, these human things, they are awful. They do nothing but kill and eat all these beautiful animals. Now, I don't think Kim Wilde is a vegan. I don't know. Maybe she is. But anyways, that just like touched me when I read that she actually believed in aliens. And she has, in interviews, talked about an alien encounter that she believes happened. So, I mean, could I even love her more? And even that she named an album after aliens, I mean, my God, how perfect is that? So anyways, the last reason why this song really just is number one for me is because after I heard it, it inspired me to go back and listen to some of the old Kim Wilde songs. And I'm not just talking about the ones that I told you about, You Keep Me Hanging On and We're the Kids in America. I really listened to some of her older music and surprisingly uncovered some songs that maybe I didn't remember or that were just seemed brand new to me, and I loved them. And so I love it when an artist can do that. They inspire you to go back and listen to some of their older music. That made me think back to when I was a teenager, and I remember hearing like Paul McCartney. He sang with a lot of 80s icons back in the 80s. And, I was like, oh, what did Paul McCartney ever do in the past, before I was born? And, of course I was like, oh my God, he has an amazing background in music. So, that just kind of what it reminded me. You're never too old to go back and listen and find new music. It just inspired me. So Kim Wilde, you are my number one pick for the 2018 Pop Princess comebacks with your song, Pop Don't Stop. And it don't. Okay, everybody, that was my top 3 Pop Princess comebacks for 2018. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you know of any other comeback artists from the 80s that came back in 2018, please let me know. I'd love to know what you found in the comments down below. So here's the deal. For the whole year, I have been making a list of artists from the 80s that have been doing new music as they were coming out, the years, the months, and all that kind of good stuff. Remakes, 80s songs that have been remade. I've been making the best list ever. And then a couple of days ago, after I got home from the holidays, my phone was stolen. My phone and wallet. Total bummer, right? But if anything will ever put a hole in your gut is like this supercomputer now that we call a phone that fits in your pocket. Someone tells you, you don't have that anymore. Oh my gosh. So anyways, I tell you that everything is good now. Again, the technology is amazing because within 24 hours of me getting my phone and my wallet stolen, I had a brand new phone. I had brand new credit cards. I had brand new debit cards. Bank of America shut everything down before those awful crooks could do anything to any of my accounts. It's amazing. It could have been better. So I know it seems weird. And I have a brand new phone that I'm recording this video on. So all is good there. Didn't mean to get off on a tangent on that. But what I'm getting at is I might have missed somebody. So if you remembered any of the 80s artists that came back in 2018, please let me know, especially if they're pop princesses. I want to know about them, especially if I hadn't heard about it yet. I want to go look at the music. All right, everybody, I have got on my adorable little unicorn headband with little gold ears. My sister and my nephews gave this to me for Christmas, but I feel like it's totally got like a New Year's vibe, doesn't it? Like it's sparkly. So anyways, 2018 was awesome for me. So I hope it was awesome for you too. I really hope that lots more 80s artists do new music in 2019 so that we can all just celebrate the retroness of and the fabulousness of all things that were the 80s, right? Okay. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. And I'll see you back here soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.